I'm Raymond, and today I'm going to be explaining how it is that airplanes are able to fly and sailboats are able to beat up wind. You see, although one moves through the air and the other moves through the sea, they both rely on airfoils.
So, what is an airfoil? In the simplest sense, an airfoil is anything that manipulates the flow of air in order to create a net force. By convention, force that is created perpendicular to the airfoil is known as lift, and force that is created parallel to the airfoil is known as drag. Lots of things can be airfoils, but typically they have a curved top and a flat base.
Now, there are a lot of explanations floating around for why airfoils work the way they do that are inaccurate or incomplete. This is because in the atmosphere, air flows as a fluid, and the motion of fluids is much harder to describe than the motion of solids. I won't be discussing these wrong explanations today, but if you'd like to learn more, I've left the links to the NASA web pages explaining them in the YouTube video description.
Common misconceptions aside, the scientific community actually does have a pretty good idea about what happens as air travels over an airfoil. According to an article published in Scientific American by Ed Regis, there are 5 components that go into the creation of lift and drag. First, the shape of the airfoil directs the airflow downwards. Second, the air atop the airfoil speeds up. Third, an area of high pressure forms beneath the airfoil. And fourth, an area of low pressure is created above it. The net force is a result of these pressure differences, but the 5th and most interesting component Regis identifies is actually the interaction between the first 4 parts. In order to understand this interaction, we first have to familiarize ourselves with 2 laws of physics, Newton's third law and Bernoulli's principle. Newton's third law tells us that every action has an equal and opposite reaction. In this case, the action is the downward turn of the airflow, and the reaction is the area of high pressure that forms beneath the airfoil. On top of the airfoil, Bernoulli's principle comes into play. Bernoulli's principle, which Daniel Bernoulli published in 1738, states that when a fluid flows faster, its pressure decreases. On top of the airflow, the area of low pressure pulls the air in front of it forward, increasing its flow speed and decreasing its pressure, which pulls the air in front of it forward, and so on and so forth in a positive feedback loop. Furthermore, the area of low pressure is what causes the air to stick to the curvature of the airfoil, leading to the downward turning of the airflow in the first place. Both the downward turning of the airstream and the increase in air speed atop the airfoil create a pressure differential, and the pressure differential helps cause the change in the airflow, creating a cycle of mutual causation. It seems impossible until you consider that in order for the system to exist, energy has to be constantly added, either from the propeller in the case of the airplane, or wind in the case of the sailboat, so it isn't actually self-sustaining. Thanks for watching.